It's nearly the end of July.
It is.
Must be about time for the June loot crate then.
Yeah.
Whoops! I did find out the theme of this since we were late, and I can't remember, but I think it was something like unmasking or something along those lines. June loot crate in July. Why not? Let's start off with everyone's favourite. It's the Q-Fig, and this is a Spiderman's, but is a black and white Spiderman's, so I think he's supposed to be as in a photo in the Daily Bugle.
Yes.
Because it is the Daily Bugle Q-Fig, rather than, like, the design is very newspaper based.
Interesting.
That's cool. I've always gone on about how Q-Figs are amazing and how you can feel the motion in them, and there's like a lot of work put into how they stand, and they're all very kind of like a scene. But look at that! He is suspended upside down from a lamppost, mid-web sling.
And yeah, the web fluid is actually wobbly, so that it even has the right consistency. I will point out that we have also said several times that they're a little bit monochrome, and this is like the third one in a row that is...
This is just completely black and white.
Presumably Q-Figs are just trying to economise on certain figures at the moment, but I mean, I like the Daily Bugle sort of concept.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I want to paint him though. It's like I'm looking at him and my brain is going, that's obviously not Spider-Man. That's one of the variants of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw it was white and I was like, is that going to be like Silk or Spider-Gwen or something else, when I saw it was a mainly white costume. But the actual figure itself is amazing.
Yeah. I'm really worried that it's going to break. Like, with a lot of the Q-Figs, like, because they have this more kind of bendy, fluid movement to them, I get really worried that they're going to break.
Way better than a bobblehead.
T-shirt is next. It is a Transformer T-shirt.
Yay!
Is it an Optimus?
It is. It's an Optimus transforming. I am...
That's actually really cool.
Very happy with that.
I am not a Transformer fan.
I'm not anymore.
But that's
I'll
a really
take
cool
this.
design. Like, I really like that. It's sort of the progression of man, but with Optimus is Optimi?
Optimodes.
Have a t-shirt. So this is another Loot Crate exclusive thing, and I'm a bit confused as to the purpose of this. It's a Hulk bowl. Dishwasher safe plastic bowl with a Hulk hand on it. Okay, so now you have a bowl that has a Hulk hand on it.
Yeah, it's like, is there a particular Hulk comic that's come out recently, or anything from the Thor Ragnarok trailers that like ties in with a bowl?
If you had a kid, or if you were a kid, or if you knew a person who had a child, I could see how, like, as a 5 to 10-year-old kid, it would be really cool to have, like, your Hulk hand snack bowl for when you're having your Saturday morning snacks. Because like, your parents work weekends and you have to have something to entertain yourself.
You may know
with.
someone who would like that then.
It's the thing of, this is really cool for certain groups of people who are not the groups of people you would think Loot Crate would cater for.
Loot Crate is aimed at, like, sort of maybe older teenagers, but more realistically, like 20-somethings and up.
Millennials who don't have anything better to spend their money on, basically. I've just noticed, sorry, sideline. Dishwasher safe, it says on the thing. Let's check. It says on the thing, dishwasher safe. Then it says on the box, hand wash only, not microwave safe. So one of these things is wrong. And also, there's no mention of whether it's microwave safe or not on the bowl. Okay, well, I'm sure we can find someone who would like a Hulk hand bowl.
Yeah, I have a few ideas.
It's the New 52 DC Comics poster collection with 40 removable posters. And I mean, I suppose still images from the covers of various comics are in some ways the best things about the New 52.
So it's a tiny Loot Crate exclusive version of a poster book? I mean, I guess that makes it a postcard book. It's still not a bad size, but it's odd. Like the superheroes and supervillains, like the League of Regrettable Supervillains stuff, like having a smaller version, that was fine, but like when it comes to art that was like drawn yay big and is designed to be viewed yay big. Like, interesting choice. Again, I'm not sure it's going to be bad, except for the covers, which were fucking awful during the New 52. I can never tell whether any of like the Green Lantern crossover event things are good or bad or not, because they're just a riotous mess of colour, and it's like, on the other hand, I mean, that's an accurate representation of what's in the books.
They're all double-sided, for one thing, so like, if you happen to like 2 of the Batgirl posters, then you kind of have to choose between them. Which I'm not so hot on.
Yeah, given that they're specifically removable, they're obviously like, you can pick and choose which ones you want to put up, but yeah.
Thinking back to my obsessive teenage postering days, when I decided that it would be easier or cheaper, and it was neither of those things, to just buy endless magazines and rip pages out of them and use those to wallpaper my room. It was difficult enough to stick up paper posters, but I seem to remember anything that was on a thicker, like a card, just kept falling down.
Yeah, I would say this is more sort of mount a bunch of them in a frame.
Yeah.
If you want to make sure that they stay up and...
By which point, if I'm going to be buying a frame to mount them, I may as well just buy a full-size version of the 1 or 2 that I really like.
The comics that we enjoyed the most from the New 52 are not necessarily like the tentpole Justice League and Batman and such like titles. Like, there are a few there which we did enjoy, or a few there which I enjoyed anyway, but like, I think the one which, between us, we enjoyed the most was probably Demon Knights.
Which is not in
Which is certainly not in here, because they need to have room for as many Batmans as possible. There are some good ones in here. Some of them are, I think, slightly zoomed in from the original art, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen some of these. So there are a good few in here, but yeah.
You've got your standard Batmans and Supermans and the sort of assorted Justice League, but then you've also got Batgirl. You've got a couple of Harley Quinns in different guises. You've got a couple of Flash ones. You've got some Wonder Woman ones right at the back.
There's a good selection of the Justice League members and their individual comics, and then a few side characters like the Joker and Harley Quinn and Batgirl who aren't in the core Justice League but are still the most popular ones. And Supergirl, we've got some Supergirl in there as well. DC is going, pretend that never happened now. And, like, I mean, the whole Rebirth thing had a much more positive reaction, and they did a whole load of cool new artwork for that. I'd expect them to be putting out something like this for Rebirth at this point in time. Whereas, like, 6 years after the launch of the New 52, at a point where they're... like, they've in-universe acknowledged that entire iteration of the DC Comics universe was a bad idea. An interesting thing to be, publishing in general now, but then doing a Loot Crate exclusive version of it and making that the thing that they're promoting. I would have expected DC, or, like, whoever is making this DC, to go, actually, can we do a Rebirth one?
Since seeing Wonder Woman, just looking at the pictures of her now, I'm like, she looks far too white in that picture. It's amazing how one movie can just completely superimpose itself over retroactively all of the memories you have of a character, if it's good enough. Just like, no, that's not Wonder Woman.
It's like the Harley Quinn now is like, everyone's doing fan art of Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movie. Even people who don't like the movie are still like, that's how she looks now.
Yeah.
And it's like...
the theme is not unmasking, it's alter ego.
Which is why we have Transformers and superheroes, and what's this one?
It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde pin.
Oh, cool. I glanced at it and assumed it was something like The Mask or another comic book, probably, but it is actually... it
is quite difficult. It's a very cool design, but in a pin form, it reflects the light in such a way that it's kind of difficult to actually make out what's on it. Yeah,
it's got like a gloss grey as the main source of line detail, and then a matte like a dark green and a matte dark purpley grey as the highlight colours.
It's kind of a magic eye picture. You have to sort of...
yeah, I like that it's Jekyll and Hyde, rather than just like they just picked another superhero or something like that.
We have instructions for the making of the Optimus, but it only transforms into Optimus Prime truck, which personally I would say is the least interesting version of Optimus Prime.
I think it would be a little much to expect to have a transforming one.
I mean, they could have just made it into the logo, though. Like, that would have been a more interesting thing to have.
That would be an alternative. I think having an Optimus Prime stick on your shelf is good. There was a time when it would have been like, oh yes, excellent, but then lots and lots of very bad iterations of Transformers happened. And also I watched the other episodes of the original series that I hadn't seen when I was a kid that have the most wildly inconsistent animation and writing. I was like, oh yeah, maybe not.
I feel like they could have made a bigger truck out of the amount of cardboard we have been given. I am fairly certain this design could have been made bigger, based on the fact that the truck body is essentially an inside-out Loot Crate box.
I mean, they've got a lot of black space here and there, so you could have made it a bit wider.
Well, what they could have done is they could have taken the cab section, which they've decided to net for the bottom of the box, put that on the lid of the box, and then had the Optimus Prime truck body take up this area, including
the and just had it
flaps.
So had it be one of the ones where you fold it kind of inside out and it becomes like...
Yeah.
Maybe just they couldn't manage to work out a way to get the scale of the cab and the rest sorted out that way.
I feel like Loot Crate has lost its sparkle, personally, for me. Like, not to say that the quality of the crates has gone downhill, because they haven't. They're much the same as they always were, and I'm really appreciating that we're getting Q-Figs every month. I feel like there was something at the beginning of this, and like it's lost its novelty value for me.
I feel like it ranks fairly well. I'm happy to have Transformers t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that we've got another Q-Fig, which is always good news. The pin is almost good, just it's a little bit weird and shiny.
I mean, I'm still gonna pin it on my bag next to Ang. This has been June's Loot Crate. We will be back in probably like a week with July's.
Yep.
Sorry it took so long to get around to this. If you've got any suggestions of subscription boxes you recommend for us to do after we get rid of Loot Crate, then maybe let us know. There's various period held subscription boxes, which are cool, but also like there's various problems with it in that like not everyone is one a month and not everyone has the same PMS every month. It's a very expensive system for something that like is targeted that you will receive it when you're at your most emotional. Like, it seems like a flawed logic. It's
an odd thing to keep getting as a subscription box, because it's kind of the thing where you would feel like most people would, one month it would be like, yes, this is what I want to use. End of service. Never want to use this again.
A Loot Crate period stress crossover crate. Like...
So like, Hulk themed stress ball,
kick-ass tampons. And then just like the darkest night dark chocolate.
Yes.
Which is just a Batman face of chocolate.
Does it have actual like pharmaceutical products? Or,
I mean, I feel like it has Jessica Jones's cure for PMS, which is much like Jessica Jones's cure for anything, just a very small bottle of whiskey.
I was going to say, how do you put flinging someone's radiator in a box?
And the box transform is just that it's very structurally weak, so that you can just like pick it up and just like slam it on the floor repeatedly, and then it'll crumple and you'll feel better.
I'm sure if I sat here long enough, I could come up with the perfect pun title, but that might not make the most thrilling video.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're done.
Oh, Loot Crate! I knew I'd get that.